Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fluento, Everyday English for Real Life. This is the place where we slow English down just enough so you can actually feel it, enjoy it, and use it in your real conversations. I'm Anna, and sitting across from me, holding his coffee with both hands like it's emotionally important, is my good friend and co-host, David.
Emotionally important is correct. This coffee and I are in a very serious relationship this morning. Hi, everyone. I'm David, and I'm really happy you're here with us today. There's something about this episode that feels especially cozy.
It does feel cozy, doesn't it? Maybe because today we're talking about something very familiar, something simple, but actually very powerful for your English.
Your weekend.
Exactly. Talking about your weekend. And I know that might sound almost too simple.
Yeah, some people might think, wait, that's it? Just my weekend?
But truly, this is one of the most common conversation starters in English. At work, at school, with neighbors, with friends, even with strangers.
Honestly, if you can comfortably talk about your weekend, you've unlocked a huge part of everyday English.
And today, we don't want to teach you this topic in a traditional way. We want to live inside it for a while, through stories, small moments, and gentle explanations.
So imagine you're sitting with us. Maybe you're drinking tea, or you're on the bus, or doing the dishes. You're just listening and picking up English naturally.
Speaking of weekends, David, I have to ask you the most classic English question of all.
Oh no! I'm ready.
How was your weekend?
You know what? My weekend was actually really nice. And even as I say that, I'm already thinking about our listeners because that sentence alone is something you hear all the time.
My weekend was really nice, simple, natural, and perfect.
Exactly. And for me, it was one of those weekends that wasn't exciting in a big way, but it felt good. On Saturday morning, I didn't rush. I woke up slowly, made breakfast, and just sat by the window for a while.
That already sounds like a good weekend.
It really was. And notice what I'm doing here. I'm talking about the past. I'm using words like was, woke up, made, sat, all in the past.
And listeners, if you ever feel nervous about past tense, remember this. You don't need perfect grammar to communicate. You need movement. You need your story to move from beginning to end.
That's such a good way to explain it. So, after that slow morning, I met a friend for lunch. Nothing fancy, just a small cafe near my apartment.
Was it crowded?
Very. And that's another very real weekend detail, right? Cafes are always crowded on weekends. Families, couples, people with laptops pretending they'll only stay 20 minutes.
I am those people.
Same. Every time. We talked about work, travel, and honestly, how fast weeks go by.
Ugh, that feeling is universal.
It is! And that conversation itself is something our listeners can practice, saying things like, we talked about our week, or we caught up with a friend.
I caught up with a friend is such a natural expression.
Yes, it doesn't mean you were running. It means you shared updates. You connected.
And emotionally, that's such an important part of weekends, isn't it? Reconnecting.
Absolutely. What about you, Anna? How was your weekend?
My weekend was calm, and I love using that word, calm, peaceful.
That word alone already tells a story.
It does. On Saturday, I spent most of the day at home. I cleaned a bit in the morning.
Ah, yes, the weekend cleaning.
Not exciting, but somehow satisfying. And while I was cleaning, I was listening to music. So it didn't feel like a chore.
That's an important cultural note, too. In many English-speaking homes, chores and music go together.
Very true. And later in the afternoon, I went for a walk. Just a short one.
And again, notice how natural that sounds. I went for a walk. Not big, not dramatic, very real.
Exactly. And learners sometimes think they need something impressive to say. You don't. English lives in these small moments.
Saturday nights are interesting, too. There's a lot of pressure, sometimes, to do something.
Yes, and my Saturday night was very simple. I stayed in, I made soup, lit a candle, and read a book.
That sounds perfect.
It was. And see how English becomes richer when you add small details. Soup, candle, book. These are the words that make the listener see your weekend.
Listeners, if you're practicing, pause this episode later and try this. Say one sentence, then add one tiny detail, just one.
Beautiful advice.
So, what about Sunday?
Sunday is always a soft day for me. In the morning, I like to wake up slowly. I don't set an alarm.
That alone is luxury.
It is. I made coffee, sat quietly, and thought about the week ahead.
And that's another very natural phrase, the week ahead.
Yes, and then I visited my parents in the afternoon.
A lot of people do family visits on Sundays.
It's very common. We had lunch together, talked, laughed, nothing rushed.
That feeling of time, stretching, is such a weekend thing.
It really is. And Sunday evenings, I think many people feel a little emotional.
Oh yes, the Sunday feeling.
Some people call it the Sunday blues.
Such a good expression. It means that quiet sadness that comes when the weekend ends.
And it's okay to talk about that too. You can say, Sunday evening felt a little quiet, or I was getting ready for the week.
And that honesty makes conversation real.
Exactly. English isn't only about happy stories, it's about real life.
You know what's interesting? This topic also teaches something deeper than grammar.
Tell me.
It teaches sequence. Saturday, then Sunday. First, then, later, in the evening.
Yes, you're organizing your thoughts naturally.
And when learners struggle, it's often not vocabulary, it's organization.
That's such an important insight. If you can place events in order, your listener will follow you, even if your grammar isn't perfect.
Exactly. And listeners, when someone asks you, "How was your weekend?" remember, it's not an exam.
It's an invitation.
To share, to connect.
And you don't have to say everything. Just 1 or 2 moments is enough.
Sometimes even, "It was quiet. I stayed home and relaxed," is perfect.
Perfect English. Perfect communication.
And after you answer, the magic move is to ask back.
Yes. What about you? That simple question builds conversation.
And builds confidence.
Before we slowly wrap this first part, I want to say something directly to our listeners.
Go ahead.
I want to say, your weekends matter. Your stories matter. And your English is already enough to begin.
You don't need advanced words to sound human.
You need honesty, presence, and practice.
So here's a gentle invitation. After this episode, try speaking out loud, just to yourself.
Tell your weekend story. Slowly. Kindly.
And maybe next time, tell it to someone else.
We'll continue this conversation next time with more stories, more expressions, and more real-life English.
Until then, be patient with yourself.
And keep living your English one weekend at a time.
See you soon.